Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Rubbings Racing Channel, broadcasting live from the planet Earth and representing the voice of Rubbings Racing. I am your host, Kenbo76. Thursday Night Lights, episode 25, ladies and gentlemen. Pretty big milestone for us. That means we've done this 25 times, 25 different car and track combinations. We've done the GT4s a few times, but these are a very popular class. They're fast enough to get you in trouble, but not too fast that you can't control them. So there are a lot of guys that are pretty good in these cars. We're watching the Moby coming around the track right now, seeing if he can get any kind of lap time in. I know the track penalties are on this evening, and they are brutal here. It's going to put the drivers to the test. They're going to have to keep these cars within the track limits because everybody knows that Imola is absolutely the worst on penalties. If you're out there in the world tuning in, thank you. This is a safe and germ-free environment here. If you're out there in the coronavirus mad race, ladies and gentlemen, rubbing.co.uk. Anything right now at Germex and wipe off the keyboard. About newly designed website. We got a lot of things on the horizon here at Rubbings Racing, but tonight this is a special event here, our 25th episode of Thursday Night Lights, and it's been absolutely fun. We see Moby coming across the line there, 1:52, setting the pace. Great job by him. We know Moby, German driver, very good, and then just about everything he drives. And now Lightblade now also in the Porsche. Lightblade now able to take the lead, take the pole away from him at 152.3. So that's about 5 tenths faster. We're looking there on the left. Tro's driving that Aston Martin. Boy, them things sound really good. That's a cool paint scheme on that yellow and black, or yellow and red Pirelli. Doing a great job right now. Currently holding the third position. Good to have him on tonight, Thursday Night Lights here. All these guys signing up earlier this week to take part in this, and it's been absolutely fun we did some practice laps around here earlier this week, and this is going to be cool, man, because the weather is going to be awesome. The first race is going to be 20 laps, or not 20 laps, 20 minutes. 20 minutes is the first race, and it's going to start at 7 in the morning, and it's going to end about 3 in the afternoon. The second race is going to start about 5 in the morning and end up around 9 at night. So we're going to have a little bit of sunrise and then a lot of sunset in the second race. So it's going to be really swell. It's 25 times time progression. So that's where we came up with it. I did a bunch of testing in the Porsche. And if you're riding in the Porsche, you can see it has a little Clark there, or a little clock. I want to say Uniclark and clock at the same time. Uniclark right now running 4th place. Currently 7 seconds off the lead, but we think that's going to change. He's probably on an outlap here. These guys are probably just trying to figure out the track temperature and figure out where they're going to be. Early in the year, this race is, ladies and gentlemen, I believe it is early in April. So it's going to be a little cooler outside. 75 degrees Fahrenheit is the track temperature. 104 degrees Fahrenheit is the, 104 degrees Fahrenheit is track temperature. 75 degrees Fahrenheit is the ambient temperature. So these guys are going to have a lot of grip here to start out this race, but everybody knows Imola is just an absolute beast to try to tame here. And tonight these guys are going to try to do it as we go around Imola with our GT4s for our 25th anniversary, or our 25th episode of the Thursday Night Lights. I was trying to read some of the streams there and comments and some of the messages I'm getting here. Sorry, I'm not trying to ignore anybody, but going through the field here, we see Uniclark moving up to 4th place, coming across the line there. Good job by him. And Mercury Andrew, always good to have him on board. Also sporting that Aston Martin Advantage, I believe, that number 62 red Aston Martin. They're coming up over the hill. Looks pretty good there. You can see, I'm going to put the track up for you guys so you can see where they're at. I always forget to do this. The map track. You can see here where he's coming down around turn 8. And I'm not even going to try to pronounce some of these turns here. This one here, I believe, is Aqua Mineral. I think I got this one right. And the only reason I got this one right is because it's one of the guys in the league's favorite corner, and I've had to say it 100 different times. So coming up to 11 and 12, let's see what Amber Huey Andrew can do in that Aston here. Evan looks like he had to back out. Looks like he got back in. I don't know, I'm not sure what that is. That's an old message on the bottom there. It's still popping up. It's been goofy lately, man. Servers are weird. I think they might be overloaded with all these people locked inside throughout all over the world. And if you're watching, just want to remind everybody, just stay safe out there, man. Really, just stay safe. You know, try to just try to stay safe and stay safe, I guess. I don't know what else to say, you know. Just be careful, man. And you know, if you're tuning in tonight, like I said, thanks for tuning in, man. We're a safe, germ-free environment tonight, I promise. Sam McCreary Andrew coming across the line here. See if he can make up any more time on this lap here right now. Lap 5, or I'm sorry, 5th place right now. 4 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in this session, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go see what Matty Cake's up to. Matty Cake, he was in a Thursday Night Lights earlier, a few seasons ago, I believe. We did an Indianapolis race. He had a pretty good time there. I haven't seen him on the track for a while. Try to go down and meet these guys. I'm a little flustered today. We got a whole lot of things going on over here in the States, too. They got all the schools closed. They got all the stores closed, but we don't want to talk about any of that. Trying to find these guys here. Matty Cake, 46 years old. He said he'll drive anything non-front wheel drive. Been sim racing for about 3 years. He said he's been rail racing for on and off for decades. Says he misses the real feel of the car, but he doesn't miss the real price of avoiding real race cars. Said he'd rather run sim races because of the affordability, and looking forward to having a good time out here. So Matty Cake right now in the Porsche, 4 seconds off of the leader, Lightblade, who's also into that Porsche. And where's Lightblade right now? Lightblade coming down the hill here towards turn 14, the Rivaza, and then out around turn 15. Pretty good lap time here by Lightblade, a 152.386. That's a great lap. Let's see what Demobi can do. Where is Demobi at? Demobi coming up to the line here. Let's see if he can improve at all. He does not. Still coming across a half a tenth down on Lightblade right now. Let's go back here and see what some of these other guys up there. Nicky rocking the Jetta GT4. What a great sound that thing makes as it crawls up the hill there. And interesting to see Nicky out here, though, but still only 2 seconds off the lead, and 2 seconds really isn't a whole lot when you're out there door-to-door with these guys. So I was going to see how this thing handles in traffic. It's good to see him. We got three different makes out here. Old Smokey looks like he's in a Porsche. Oh, we got a BMW sideways GT4 out there in that BMW. That BMW has such a cool shift pattern. He mentioned on the Discord that he wants to be blipping all night, and it's, yeah, if you're a fan of motorsports, you'll know what he means. That's a car, fun car to drive, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully he can get it up there and run with these guys. Hasn't been able to put a lap time in with 2 minutes remaining in this qualifying session, ladies and gentlemen. Coming up to the line, let's see what he can do here. We just said track penalties are on, so some of these lap times aren't counting, although these guys are out here still trying to test the cars and still trying to put it together here. Sideways GT. Sideways coming up 9 seconds off of the pace. He's got one more lap to do it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what will happen here. Let's see where Demobi's at and Lightblade are at. Put that map back up on the track. You can see coming down the start finish, or coming down the hill here towards turn 13 and 14. Here comes Demobi, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep an eye on him and see if he can do anything with Lightblade's time. Hard on the brakes here, making that hard left-hander. Looks like he goes wide just a little bit out onto the curb. Looks like, I don't know if he had any time there, but it looks like he may have lost a little bit of time getting on the brakes there. Coming back up to the line, and let's see what he's going to be up to coming across here with a minute left in this qualifying session before they got to start wrapping it up, ladies and gentlemen. Demobi coming across the line. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to make it up. No, he does not. Matter of fact, 1.7 seconds off of his fastest lap, so must have had some incidences going on there. I've seen a Mustang out there somewhere. I'm pretty excited about that. We have a Porsche. We have another Porsche out there with Nord the Viking. Nord the Viking, good having him tune in tonight and get on track with us and get out of all the mayhem and the madness that's going on in the world. I want to know who has that Mustang. I'll find him. I think it's Evan. Yes, Evan with the Mustang. Ford power. That thing sounds absolutely amazing. Only 3 seconds off the pace with it as well. At 153, Monster Energy Ford Mustang. Boy, I like the wing on that thing and the way it sounds. Got them dual exhaust coming out, but closely being followed. Looks like by Demobi coming up the hill. No, it's not Demobi. I'll get him figured out here. Not sure who's going on here, but watching Tro, 9th place, also in that Aston Martin. So we just rode along with him earlier here. 2.9 seconds off the lead, ladies and gentlemen, and that is the qualifying session is over. All these guys coming up to the line, trying to get their final laps in. Let's see where Lightblade's at. Lightblade now currently behind Evan, and it looks like Evan get off to the side a little bit. Lightblade's going to try to improve his time coming up through this last chicane here. Turns 11 and 12, Variante Alta, I guess we'll call it. And then start down the hill, making this horsepower, down around turn 13, and then down to 14, ladies and gentlemen. Imola is the track. GT4 are the cars. The event is Thursday Night Lights, and this is our 25th episode, ladies and gentlemen, doing this. That's a little over 6 months, and it's been pretty steady since we started the league, since the founders found this league. Lightblade putting it to bed here. Demobi coming across the line. Let's see what he's going to do here. Lightblade able to put a little bit of time on Demobi. Puts about 2/10 on him again, looks like. And currently now Demobi 6/10 off the lead. Hurlo's still out there. What's Hurlo up to today? Hurlo also in that GT4 Porsche with a cool paint scheme. That H&R red, white, and blue with them tiger stripes on the back. Look pretty cool. Coming up to the line here. 3.2 seconds off the lead. See if he can do anything with the oh no, up to the line yet. Coming down the hill. It looks a little different on the track from this angle than it does in the car, I promise you. And as a racer myself, I try to put myself there, but you can see him coming through the final corner, coming through 14 or 15 here, and then up to the line here, ladies and gentlemen. Can Hurlo improve his time at all? He's the only one left. He has a shot at doing it, and doesn't look like he did. So that is the running order, ladies and gentlemen. Lightblade puts it on the pole. Demobi in second, and Thorsten Schmidt, didn't see him out on track at all. Pretty quiet there. Can't believe I missed him. Thorsten Schmidt, sorry about that, buddy. Johnny coming in fourth. Uniclark in fifth. NRP sixth. Matty Cake to seventh. Amber QE to eighth. Tro to ninth. Hurlo to 10th. Dan to 11th, Sideways GT4 to 12th, Nordic Viking to 13th, and 14th belongs to Old Smoke. He had a couple guys, one guy drop, two guys drop out, so hopefully we can get them back. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get this going. It's going to be a 20-minute session, and they're going to run it just like they qualified. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 45 seconds remain before these guys green up. Going to the stream here. J-Palm saying good evening to all. Fast drivers today in the TNL, so it's going to be a great race. Looks like it. Jeff Sharp chiming in, as always. Tuggy Bear saying good luck and stay safe to everybody. The console chiming in saying great track and great cars. Lightblade showing good pace in practice, but isn't unbeatable. A little challenge here, a little jab coming through the stream. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and good luck to all the Janetta team from NRP. So thanks, guys, for tuning in. We're getting ready to get this going here. 20-minute session. Guys wishing each other luck on the track, and we're getting ready to get going here, ladies and gentlemen, with this session. Lightblade, you see him. The two Porsches side by side. Demobi to the outside, Lightblade to your right-hand side. Looks like Demobi's able to get that run down through the corner here. We'll get rid of this interface. Demobi in that silver Porsche now out front, being followed closely by that number 35 TechMet Porsche run by Lightblade. And now number 7, Thorsten Schmidt now on the back of these guys. As you see these guys, I had the map up here for you, ladies and gentlemen. As you see him coming around turn 4 and then down towards this first chicane area, where turns 2, 3, and 4 here, ladies and gentlemen. And then down around turn 5. Coming up to this hairpin, they got to be really careful. This is a really, really technical section. Lightblade making a move to the inside, on the inside of Demobi, but Demobi takes it a little bit wide, goes out into the paint. They got to be careful because these penalties on this track are pretty harsh. These guys have to be mindful where they're at. Demobi still leading this pack around. Lightblade on the back of him, and now you see Thorsten Schmidt in behind him. This is the area on the track where everybody gets sideways. Just like I said, Lightblade goes around, hits the wall and spins. It's got to be careful coming up around turn 8, ladies and gentlemen. There's a spin. Lightblade gets it going. Let's go back to the action. Demobi taking over the lead now. Thorsten Schmidt the second. Johnny up to third, and Uniclark now up to fourth. This the Porsche show, and you can see NRP back there in that Janetta looking to make a move to the inside. Let's see what he's up to here. You can see him coming through in that number 80. NX Oil Janetta GT4 coming up, hanging with the big boys here with the Porsches, doing a great job tonight. Mr. Silverstone himself doing an absolutely fantastic job. Had a great run the other night at Silverstone with the GT3s. Good to see him on track today. Now keeping an eye on Thorsten Schmidt. Now Thorsten Schmidt back to 4th place. And what's going on with Thorsten? Thorsten back to 5th place, being followed by Matty Cake in that blue Porsche. Behind him, Amber Curie. We now see the next manufacturers. We see Amber Curie in that Aston Martin, and then behind him, Dan Butt-Mortris also in that Porsche. Back up to the lead, ladies and gentlemen. Where's Demoby? Demoby separates now self by about 1.6 seconds between him and Johnny. Uniclark, NRP, and Thorsten Schmidt round out the top 5. Now Matty Cake taking that position up to the top 5th position here and gets off into this gravel pit. And Amber Curie Andrew able to go around him. And also Thorsten Schmidt looks like he also gets loose coming through turns 2, 3, and 4. That first chicane, I'm going to call it, ladies and gentlemen. So these guys are having a little bit of handling issues here. It looks like Herlo now up on the inside. Challenging Dan Butt-Mortris, gets pushed way out wide to the outside into the stands. Going to lose some spots. Comes back on track in front of Sideways and that GT4 BMW. And it's a great looking car there. I love that BMW. It sounds so good, but it's just not as fast as some of these other guys. Still side by side though, coming up here with Herlo. These two guys really horsing each other as they come up over the hill here towards turn 10, Aqua Mineral here. Oh no, this ain't Aqua Mineral, this is turn 8. And then down the hill towards Aqua Mineral, turn 9 and 10 here. Still working on each other, and now Herlo gets in behind him. Let's get back up here and see what NRP is up to on the back of Uniclark and Johnny. We're seeing Thorsten Schmidt up in the mix there now. He's back to 8th place, ladies and gentlemen, so we're not sure what's going on there, but congratulations and a great job so far to NRP. Hanging there with them Porsches right there. Matty now on the back of NRP as they come down the hill towards turn 14, and he's all by himself. See Dan Butt-Mortris coming into the frame there, and then there's a whole bunch of guys in behind him. This is a great race here. Norg the Viking in that classic retro two-tone blue Porsche, that Falcon Porsche. I think that's been in every video game we've ever played. That Falcon Porsche is a great, great livery. Rocking it tonight for our 25th special, ladies and gentlemen. This is our special 25th episode of Thursday Night Lights at Imola with the GT4s, and the Northern Viking doing a great job right now, holding 8th place, but still surrounded by a bunch of guys who want to take that position away from him. We have Dan Butt-Mortris in that Porsche beside him, and now Thorsten Schmidt looks like he's moving up to 6th place in that number 7 GTS Porsche, doing a great job. And behind Amber Curie up to 5th place now, as you see these guys coming in out of turn 5 and 6. Then I'm getting a little confused here, ladies and gentlemen, where I'm at on the track. Yeah, 5 and 6 is this chicane here. This is turn 7 here. This sharp left-hander, and Amber Curie doing a great job. Thorsten Schmidt trying to get down. Oh no, we see Norda Viking go around, and looks like he's going to lose the car. You got to be careful coming around the right-hand bend, or the left-hand sharp left-hander. Turn 7, guys getting going on the inside. Be careful. You see Herlo coming into the frame there, and then Tro able to make it through. Now Demoby currently still leading this parade. We see Johnny now coming into the frame, way in behind him. And in a couple seconds, we should see that Janetta GT4 coming into the frame as well. You see NRP coming in. Matty Cake in that blue and white Porsche. Thorsten Schmidt and Amber Curie, both of these guys now in the top 6. Sideways GT4 doing a great job in that BMW. You can hear him coming down here, the engine running. Light Blade back to the 8th. Not sure what happened to him. And Dan Butt-Mortris in 9th place. You can see him coming down this stretch here. Herlo being chased by Norda Viking. We've seen him take that spin. Very good views and angles there. Tro doing a great job in that AMG. And then Old Smoky rounding them out in the 13th place. And what happened to Uniclark? Uniclark, not sure what happened to him in that 181 CSF. So that's the field, ladies and gentlemen, as they run. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. 14 minutes remain in this session. It's 102 degrees is the track temperature, and 74 degrees is the ambient temperature, outside temperature, ladies, and that is in Fahrenheit. So if you don't know the conversion, get out your cell phone and say, what is 74 degrees Fahrenheit converted to Celsius? I don't know what it is. We use Fahrenheit over here. I apologize. A little language barrier there. Watching Amber Curie Andrew come through that first chicane area, doing a great job in that Aston Martin. Chasing Thorsten Schmidt now. Thorsten Schmidt doing a great job Sunday at Silverstone in the GT3s. And then also doing a great job Tuesday in the touring cars as well. Good job by him, man. Some of these guys are really fast out here. Thorsten Schmidt doing a great job. 11 seconds off of the lead, though. You can see him in that number 7 Porsche. Getting a little loose coming out of turn 7. Headed up towards turn 8 here. this long left sweeping hand, or a left 8, left 8, turn 8. This is a crazy turn, man. I can never figure this turn out. It looks so much faster when you're in the car. It looks like it's so much faster of a corner than it is, and I think that gets so many guys in trouble. But Thorsten Schmidt doing a good job getting through there. Currently 12 seconds off of the pace right now. Go back here to Uniclark and Nord the Viking. Nord the Viking now looks like he's on the back of Herlo. Herlo rocking that paint scheme. We've seen that paint scheme earlier today. You can see him come down the hill. See Nord the Viking come down the hill as well. And Uniclark should be coming into the frame as well with Old Smokey in tow. Great view by these guys. And then Tro finally coming down the hill by himself. Great camera angles here by Project Cars. Lightblade on the back of Sideways GT4. What happened to our pole sitter? We're not sure. 8th place, 24 seconds off of the lead. The track temperature is a little warm. It's about 103 degrees Fahrenheit on the track. So the grip is, it might be a little bit loose. It's going to go into the afternoon, and then it's going to end about 3 o'clock, I think. So if I did my calculations right, which we're going to go into the cockpit with Lightblade because he has one of those Porsches. And you can see on his dashboard right now, it is 10:17, 10:18 in the morning, 10:19 right there in between the steering wheel. You can see that clock. And that's how I did all this timing, ladies and gentlemen. That's how I did all this testing. So I think it was a little later in the year, so I think I might have to back it up in the feature race. But riding on board with Lightblade right now, chasing Sideways GT4 as they come across our finish line around turn 2, 3, and 4 here, making this left around turn 4, starting down through this chicane area here, 5 and 6. Great view from cockpit view here, ladies and gentlemen. That BMW a little late on the brakes. Looks a little heavier than that Porsche too. I'm not sure what the curb weight is on that, but you can hear that BMW sounds really good. And we're going to go here with Sideways GT4 on board with him. As you can see Lightblade now starting to drive away from him and taking that position away up to 7th place. Great racing by these guys here. Great camera work also by Project Cars 2 and Slightly Mad Studios for giving us this ability to be able to bring our viewers this kind of sim racing. Let's go up here to see what Thorsten Schmidt's up to. Back to the track side, ladies and gentlemen, as they come down to this final chicane here. Thorsten Schmidt now all over the back of Matty Cake. Matty Cake quietly up to 4th place. Haven't heard much about him. NRP now, it looks like Matty Cake's going to go ahead and lean over a little bit, let Thorsten Schmidt come down and try to take over that Ginetta GT4. These guys are nothing but respectful out here on the track. They may get in arguments, may disagree about some things sometimes, but on the track it's all gentlemanlike, and these guys are really respectful towards each other. So you're seeing the sportsmanship there. Matty Cake knowing that Thorsten Schmidt's faster than him. Not sure if there was an incident going on there or not, but look at our man Mr. Silverstone NRP rocking that Ginetta GT4. What a great job by him. 12 seconds off of the pace, but still the consistency that he's showing here. Now let's go to some of the timings here as we see. Well, let's watch this battle here as these guys come down through turns 2, 3, and 4 of this chicane area here. And Nicky does a good job driving those Ginettas. He likes the Ginettas. We did a GT4 series a few, I think 2 seasons ago. And it was absolutely great. So everybody enjoyed doing it. Not sure if he raced in that series, but the GT4 series was absolutely fun. But that GT4 doing that Ginetta right now doing a great job holding off Thorsten Schmidt. But we've seen Thorsten Schmidt. He'll get behind you. He will wear you out and get around you one way or the other. Very respectful driver out here. You can see him now making a move to the outside. Looks like the Porsche has just a little bit more power maybe on that uphill there than the Ginetta. You can see that big wing on the back of Ginetta really requires a lot of downforce back there. Some of these guys run about 3 or 4 on the downforce. Some of them run a little lighter than that. They're crazy, I think. 3 is my magic number. It's the best I can do. But the Porsche, you can see how small that Porsche wing is there, which is going to eliminate a lot of that drag that Ginetta is creating there. But it's also going to help out for him when he's in that slipstream, because that turbulent air is going to mess up Thorsten Schmidt's line a little bit in those high speeds. So these guys got to dance around each other and try to figure it out. Great battle right now happening for 3rd place as they come down the hill here towards turn 14. Hard on the brakes there, NRP, and that Ginetta turning into the left all the way out on the curb. Going to take a look at some of the penalties here once these guys come across the line and see what these guys are up to. Right now, Demobi sporting a 1-second penalty. You have Thorsten Schmidt also sporting a 1-second penalty. Amber Curie Andrew being served a 1 second penalty. Lightblade serving a 1 second penalty. Hurlo a 1 second penalty. And Old Smoky as well. Let's take a look at some of the lap times, ladies and gentlemen. Best lap by Demobi is a 153.03. A couple other 153s there. You got a 153.5 by Johnny, a 153.4 by Thorsten Schmidt, and a 155.2, or I'm sorry, 153.6 by Lightblade. There's your 153s. Those are the Porsches, ladies and gentlemen. Next one in line, it looks like it's going to be Lightblade's got that 153, I'm not sure where we're at here. I've got too many numbers. But there's the lap times, ladies and gentlemen, and the penalties. Gonna get rid of this screen and get back to the racing. I don't want to quit this, and I never know how to get out of this stupid thing. There you. Okay. Back to the action. Hurlo and Uniqlark now harassing each other for that ninth position. Uniqlark looks like he's making a move to the inside of Hurlo. Porsche versus Porsche as they come down. Hurlo in that red, white, and blue with them stripes on the side of it. That H and R appropriate for his name, Hurlo. It looks like his initials are on the side of the door. It's a pretty cool scheme there. Over halfway done here, ladies and gentlemen. Lap 7. And looks like it's probably going to be about 14 laps, maybe 13 laps or so. I didn't catch it at lap 10, so probably about 12 or 13 laps for the feature if you're interested, not interesting. Dan Butt Mortress now coming up over the hill over Aqua Mineral, and you can see now Hurlo and Uniqlark. These guys, this is all battle now for 8th place. Dan Butt Mortress has it. Hurlo wants it, and Uniqlark in that 10th place position. They're going to try to sort it out here as they come through this final chicane, starting down the hill. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to thank you guys for all your love and support, all your comments. Some of the comments here on the stream, going to the stream, ladies and gentlemen. The console coming in saying, go on, Thorsten. Tuggy Bear says, come on, Nikki. J Palm says, difficult to keep up with the impressive pace put up by Demobi. Jeff Sharp said, Evan Hayes on disconnected, say a little conversation there. So yeah, Demobi's definitely setting the pace right now, 4 seconds out in front of everybody. We're keeping an eye on this battle right here between Hurlo, Uniqlark, and Dan Butt Mortress. I was too busy rambling and reading the streams there, and it happens every time I'm on stream, ladies and gentlemen. As soon as I turn away, 3 or 4 guys change the position. Just like that, it happens, and now you see Uniqlark taking that position away from Hurlo as they come up through turn 2 and 3 here, ladies and gentlemen. Uniqlark now out front, being chased side-by-side action. In behind him as Hurlo goes wide and pushes Dan Butt Mortress out wide behind him. And we're going to keep an eye on this battle here. This is heating up, ladies and gentlemen. 5.5 minutes remain in this session. See Hurlo get way out wide, being chased now by Dan Butt Mortress. But Dan goes around him as he makes that mistake. You can see sideways GT4 coming into the frame around there. Old Smoky in the background of that Nordic Viking. Not sure what happened to him. Where's he at coming into the frame as well? I'll go up front and give some credit to our leader here, ladies and gentlemen. Demobi has been doing it in style all day long, and we're going to do our customary ride along like we always do every time we're on the stream. No pressure on anybody here, but as we come into the cockpit with Demobi, comes out of turn 15 and up to turn 15 here, ladies and gentlemen, and down to turn 1, and coming across the start-finish line. You can see the green lights there, and this is your hot lap riding along with your race leader, Demobi, today for our 25th episode of Thursday Night Lights, coming into turn 1, or coming into turn 2 here, ladies and gentlemen, 3, and then turn 4 as he comes out of here. Then starts down towards 5 and 6. And the way they have it mapped here, I guess this would be turn 5 and it's left-hander here, and then down to this right-hander in turn 6. You got to be very careful, and you can hear him going down through the gears. You don't hear the tires rubbing at all, and then coming down to this hard left-hander on turn 7 here, ladies and gentlemen. This is very difficult and very tricky. When you come out of that apex and look for that corner, look for that exit, you got to be careful not to get back on that throttle too hard, because it'll spin you out and you'll end up into the wall like we've seen Nordic Viking do earlier. Coming into turn 8 here, ladies and gentlemen, and then starting down the hill towards the famous Aqua Mineral. This is a very tricky section of the track. I can never get it right. I always spin out right here. I always hit this curb and spin out, but Demobi doing it absolutely great. Then making horsepower back up over the hill here out around turn 10. Coming to the chicane here, which is turn 10 and 11. You got to dive it in, look for that exit, and then look for the exit again. You're looking through the corner as you're getting through that chicane. And he's doing it good because he's all by himself. When you have a car beside you, it's an absolute mayhem. Coming down the hill around this right-hander turn, the 13, back down to the brakes here, down through the gears. You can see the speeds all the way down to about 75 kilometers per hour, out around turn 15, and then back out through the start-finish line, ladies and gentlemen. And Demobi's doing it absolutely great in style right now. Lap 9, 2 minutes left, or 2 minutes and 59 seconds left in this session, ladies and gentlemen. That was your customary ride along with your race leader, Demobi. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let's see what Johnny's up to right now. Let's go back to the track and see if there's any battles developing online or on the track here, ladies and gentlemen. You see Johnny now coming through, coming down through here right now. We're trying to catch these guys as they come around the corner. You can see Thorsten, absolutely, Demobi, absolutely. NRP now to 4th place. You can see Thorsten Schmidt up, taking that final podium position away and doing a great job. NRP back to 4th now. Matty Cake and NRP. Looks like this is going to be a race that develops here. We got Porsche against Ginetta. We know them Ginettas are pretty cool and they handle really well, but they just a little short on the horsepower. As you see them side by side. Look at these two guys going at it here. Watching them on track as you see them coming up to turn 7 here. This hard braking zone, making a hard left-hander here, ladies and gentlemen. And it's starting up the hill. This is what I was talking about earlier. You got to be careful getting back on the accelerator there because you're trying to make power to get up the hill, get around the guy beside you, just like what's going on right here. Matty Cake into that blue and white Porsche, and you see NRP into that Ginetta, GT4 Ginetta there, RX Soil number 80 Ginetta. And these guys are doing a great job right now. A minute and 30 seconds left. Time is running out for these guys. Right now, this is the battle for 4th place. Matty Cake has it. NRP wants it. A little battle going on back here in for the final spot. We're going to keep an eye on this battle right here, ladies and gentlemen. This is good racing as we see it here. I'm going to keep an eye on the time as well. If it looks like I'm blinking back and forth, it's because I'm just going to keep an eye on the time. I want to give Demobi the credit where it's due here. I see where the leader's at, coming up to the start-finish line, so I think we should be good here for another run at it. As we're watching Matty Cake come down the hill, and these guys are absolutely flying. Matty Cake late on those brakes, but gets it woed up. You see NRP able to, the handling's just a little better coming through that section of the track, and now NRP is going to try to make a move to the inside, but he knows he's got to try to stay in that slipstream of the Porsche, and the Porsche is just going to walk away right now, and this is the battle for 4th place, ladies and gentlemen. Lap 11, session time remaining. It looks like the race is over, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry, I missed it once again. I missed it again. Demobi taking the lead, ladies and gentlemen. Is that it? You guys done? Yeah, the race is over. Boy, I messed that all up. Wow. There's one lap to go? Okay. It's up on top here. It says session time remaining 9 seconds. So that's what I thought. I thought there was one lap to go. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what's going to happen here. We're going to watch a countdown and see what happens. Well, the world didn't come to an end. So Demobi coming up over Aqua Mineral for the final time. Looks like he's going to lead this parade back to the start-finish line. 6 seconds out in front of everybody. Doing an absolutely fantastic job tonight. I'm going to get rid of this map just in case he wants to come and do any editing on this stream. Demobi coming down the hill right now all by himself, doing it in style, doing it like he does. Creator and the founder, or whatever you want to call it, organizer, does it all by himself. The Hot Lap Challenge at Rubbings Racing, new car, new track every week, gives us some history on the car, history on the track, and tells us to go out there and try to beat his time. And it's a great thing for the community. You see Demobi coming to the start-finish line for the final time. Here he comes, ladies and gentlemen, and that is it. Demobi takes the sprint race and Thursday Night Lights, episode number 25, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to him. Johnny coming across the line in 2nd place, all by himself. Thorsten Schmidt closing a little bit on him, but not able to get there fast enough. Matty Cake now looks like he's doing a good job getting around Nicky. Not sure what happened to Nicky. You see Matty Cake coming to the line, waving his hand out the window at his saying, that number 87 Rex out there. Looks like just a little bit of a careful coming to the start-finish line, ladies and gentlemen. I see NRP coming across in 6th. Lightblade Don't know what happened to him. Coming across in 7th. You can see him coming across the line there. Good job by him. Uniclark clawing his way back to 8th place at the line. Hurlo should be coming across the line here directly. Here he comes, ladies and gentlemen. Coming in 9th place. It's good to have Dan on board as well. You can see him way coming, probably should be coming into the frame here pretty soon. Yeah, you see Dan coming across 10th. Sideways GT4 in that BMW. Coming across the line in 10th. Look for good things out of that BMW, but like I said, it's a rose among thorns, ladies and gentlemen. You got to know how to baby that thing. Nordic Viking doing a great job in that retro Falcon number 50 Porsche, looking for that paint scheme in the feature as well. And Old Smoky coming across in 13th place. Thank you everybody for joining. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We're going to have a short intermission here, probably about 10 minutes or so. I got to go out and do what I got to do here. So I'm going to take a picture of this, and we're going to continue here in about 10 minutes. So if you want to stretch your legs, go get your snacks. These guys are going to go stretch their legs, and we'll get back at you. I think it's going to be 23 laps, ladies and gentlemen. 23 laps. Going to have one warm-up lap, and then it's going to be 21 laps of racing. So stay tuned. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to try it one more time here. Sorry about that confusion, but something happened with the connection here. It's been a little buggy lately. We're thinking it's the probably the servers are maybe a little overloaded altogether because of what's happening around the world. And if you're involved in what's happening around the world, if you live on the planet, then you are involved in what's happening around the world with the coronavirus. Just stay safe out there, everybody. Try to just wash your hands like they tell you to do. Soap and water is the best thing, what I've heard. So don't be trying to make up stuff and blowing your face off if you're trying to make chemicals. Yes, there is 1 or 2 people that don't live on this planet in this lobby. So however they handle it in their sector of the universe, I'm not sure. So that's advice to everybody living on the planet. And that's not directed towards the Moby or anything. So getting ready to go here, ladies and gentlemen. 23 laps. It's going to be 22 laps of racing. 1 lap here, a warm-up lap. I think everybody got in this time, so we're going to get it underway here, ladies and gentlemen. Old Smoky's going to lead them off here. And Nordic Vikings, they're going to line up on the front row. Old Smoky out to the front. Nordic Viking up to 2nd, please. Sideways GT4 up to 3rd. Dan But Mortis up to 4th, please. Hurlo, make it up to 5th. Uniclark, make it up to 6th, please. Lightblade to 7th. NRP up to 8th, please. Matty Cake take the 9th place position. Amber Cuey top 10. Thornton Schmidt to 11. Johnny to 12th. And Demoby to 13th place. And then we had Tro to 14th. And then Evan IRL rounds them out, ladies and gentlemen. These guys trying to get it sorted out here. I think they're all trying to work it out. 4 a.m. start, ladies and gentlemen. 4 a.m. start, times 25 is the weather. You can see the sun is already starting to rise a little bit. Old Smoky doing a good job out front here. Let me get on the speedometer, see what these guys are up to. Doing a good pace here, as we always know. This is our warm-up lap, so we can get these guys all sorted out once they come down to the first corner here. Normally about 65 miles per hour. If you do spin out on a warm-up lap, you do have to go to the back of the pack later, gentlemen, so just be careful. This guy's coming up. First place is always going to start on the right-hand side, and second place is going to be on the left-hand side. And all the way back through the field, all the odd numbers are going to be on the right-hand side. Even numbers on the left-hand side. When it's time to form up here, ladies and gentlemen, we'll get up around Aqua Mineral. Then we'll get down around towards turn 13 or 14. I guess once we get out of turn 15, ladies and gentlemen, we'll form up side by side. And then whenever the Old Smoky wants to put the hammer down, at the appropriate time, once they're all lined up, we're going to get it going here. So 23 laps, like I said, with a mandatory pit stop. We had it underway for about 1 second, but 2 or 3 guys, they disconnected or got, not sure what happened. It's like I said, it's been a little buggy lately. I don't think it's anything to do with Project Cars. I think the PlayStation servers is just a little overloaded there. As you see Old Smoky go ahead and do the Dukes of Hazzard up over the curb here. Coming down over the hill here, 23 laps remain. Ginetta leading the field off here. We've seen Demobi take the win in the sprint race, which was no surprise. He was off of the pace, though, earlier this week in the touring cars, and I believe in the GT3s as well. He was off the pace, and we're not really sure what's going on with Demobi there. So looking good tonight, back on track in the GT4s. And these guys getting ready to come out of the corner. Get slowed down a little bit, about 40 miles per hour there as the guys start lining up side by side. Once you come out of this corner, I'm going to keep an eye on Old Smokey here, and all these guys are going to line up side by side. At 4 a.m., ladies and gentlemen, probably getting about 4 or 5 a.m. And we see the field coming in behind them. I want to make sure everybody's here. We see Demobi all the way in the back, Evan in the back, Tro in the back, and Old Smokey coming up to the line. And at any time, he can go whenever he wants to take off, ladies and gentlemen. And Old Smokey puts the hammer down, and we are green, ladies and gentlemen. Old Smokey coming across the line first in that Ginetta, being followed closely by Norda Viking. Norda Viking also changing a car. I believe he's now up to that Ginetta, coming down to turns 2, 3, and 4, this first chicane. Norda Viking also going to Ginetta. Dan Mortuis to the Ginetta. And sideways GT4 in the Ginetta as well. This pack of Ginettas leading this field. Looks like good things for the Ginetta camp. Uniclark is the first Porsche coming in 5th place here as these guys come around turns 5 and 6, headed down towards this sharp left-hander. Side-by-side action. You see Uniclark now side-by-side with that Ginetta back there. Not sure what's going on. You see, I think that's NRP. Yes, that is NRP in that purple and white. Losing 2 positions to sideways. And Hurlo goes around him, or I'm sorry, Uniclark go around him. Somebody spun in the back there. Not sure who that was. That must have been Hurlo gets spun around. It's unfortunate for him. Dan Mortuis, meanwhile, up to 2nd place. Old Smokey still doing a great job holding off this pack. I'm just going to get rid of that interface so you can see the cars come down here. Headlights are still on. The sun is going to be coming up here in a minute. You can see the fire of the sun coming up over this hill, ladies and gentlemen. Now I want to get a ride along with somebody here. I'm not going to say who. I'm just going to go... Thorsten Schmidt, we're riding along with him. Just going to go in the cockpit just to check out this sunrise, ladies and gentlemen. Currently riding in 9th place with Thorsten Schmidt, chasing our sprint race leader, Demobi. As you can see, the sun now coming up over the hill. Going to be an issue for some of these guys coming up over some of these hills. We see that Ginetta GT4, I think that's Old Smokey going backwards. Yes, it is. And that number 9, he was leading the race on board with Thorsten Schmidt. Oh, there's some contact there. It looks like our leader gets taken. Oh, no, our leader gets by. Not sure who it was, but a little bit of contact between Thorsten Schmidt and Demobi. Unfortunate, and then side-by-side action between Thorsten Schmidt and Evan. Where is Evan now? Evan dropping back. We're going to Evan's ride, and now looking out at his view from the cockpit view, and right along board, chasing Thorsten Schmidt. You seen he was side-by-side with Thorsten Schmidt, and where's Old Smokey at? Old Smokey now in behind Evan. Evan's still rocking that Ford Mustang. That's a great view there, ladies and gentlemen. Get rid of this interface and see what's happening here. Coming down to turn 2 and 3 and 4, this first chicane area. You can just listen to those pipes cracking off of that Mustang being driven by Evan. Evan doing a great job in that Mustang, ladies and gentlemen. Sun's coming up. Should be going into the evening hours towards the end of this race. 23 laps. Right now we are on lap 3 of 23. 20 laps remain in this session. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is our 25th edition of Thursday Night Lights, ladies and gentlemen. We're super proud to everybody involved, all the hard work that was involved. And I was going to say earlier in the stream, you can see coming up over the hill, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. They can't even see the racing line. They can barely see each other out of that windshield. You can't see the brake lights. If there's an accident there, you're just driving straight through it. That is incredible. That is an incredible view to see him coming now into turn 8, Pitarella. I think Piratella, I'm not sure what it is. And then back down the hill. Great early spring day here at Imola in our GT4. It's just doing a little bit of riding along in the cockpit here. What a great view looking from his view there. Let's go back here and see what Sideways is up to. You can see Sideways coming now through the bottom. Not sure. Amber Curie Andrew. Let's take a look at him here. Now to 12th place behind Lightblade. Not sure what's going on with Lightblade. Back to 11th place. Currently 10 seconds off the lead. Maybe that mid-pack start might have got him mixed up a little bit. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, going to go back to the track here and take a look at some of the race leaders as they come across the line. Uniclark now leads the parade as they come to the start-finish line for lap 4. Uniclark leading all those Ginettas. Didn't see the action up there. It was paying attention to some of the action towards the back of the track. Try to give everybody on stream as much as I can, but I know the fans scream at me if they don't know what's going on up front, so I'm kind of stuck in the middle. Darned if I do, I'm darned if I don't. Try to bring the best to you, ladies and gentlemen, and here it is. Una Clark doing his absolute best, trying to keep Dan NRP and Nord Viking behind him. Demobi now up to 5th place, coming around the corner in a battle with Nord Viking, Thor Schmidt, Evan coming around in that Mustang, being followed by Old Smokey and Tro. You see now Matty Cake and Lightblade coming into the picture as well. These three coming in, Amber Cuey coming in behind these guys. That's your top 12, ladies and gentlemen. Johnny falling off the pace, coming back there. You can see him coming in with Sideways GT4 behind him in that Janetta as well. So we're going to keep an eye on these guys, and Hurlo rounding out the top 15, ladies and gentlemen. Back to the lead, Dan Butt Mortuous into that Janetta GT4, that number 18. Keevner's Janetta GT4 tracking down our leader right now, Una Clark, who's in 3rd place, Nikki in 3rd place, and then Demobi in 4th. So I'm going to try to keep the graphics off as much as I can. You see Dan going way off there, maybe going to get a penalty. Let's go here and look at some of the timing so far. Nord Vikings, the only culprit with a penalty right now in the top 5. Going down through the field here, we see Old Smokey has a penalty as well. We'll get rid of that speedometer. Put your map back up for you. And that's the only penalties going on right now, ladies and gentlemen, unless there's some towards the back. Oh, Lightblade also has a 1-second penalty, so those are the guys who are in the sin bin right now, and you got to keep an eye on what these guys are going to do. They need to keep that in mind later on, ladies and gentlemen. Get rid of the timing here, and Una Clark still doing a great job. The top 4 are all within striking distance of each other. Una Clark, Dan, NRP, and Demobi in that order, ladies and gentlemen. 2 seconds separate the top 5 guys. You can see Thorsten Schmidt now coming across the line in the top 5 position. Nord Viking coming in behind him. You're going to see Evan coming into the frame here pretty soon in that car, followed closely by Old Smokey and Tro. Amber Cuey Andrew into the pits, surrendering that place. Lap 5 out of 23, ladies and gentlemen. Lap 5 out of 23. Going into the early morning hours. Started the race at 4 a.m. under cover of darkness. Sun was coming out as we started. Should be going into the dusk hours as we finish this race up here. Going back here to the lead fellas and see what's going on. Let's see what NRP and Demobi are up to. Demobi now taking that 3rd position away from that Janetta driven by NRP. You can see these guys going up the hill, and then Thorsten Schmidt rounding out the top 5. And you can see somebody getting crazy in the background there. Who was that Nord Viking into that Janetta, getting a little sideways coming out of turn 7. It's very easy to do. Evan coming up the hill as well. Tro coming up the hill. Old Smokey coming up the hill. And then Johnny in that Aston Martin Vantage rounds out the top 10, ladies and gentlemen. Una Clark leading him around as he comes up over the hill. www.rubbingsracing.co.uk. If you guys want to sign up and get involved with what you're seeing right here on our stream, our Rubbings Racing stream, we do this every Thursday night, barring any major catastrophe. Even during the coronavirus epidemic, ladies and gentlemen, we're still out here pounding the pavement, bringing you guys some of the best, cleanest sim racing on the PlayStation Network. 4 Project Cars 2, ladies and gentlemen. Una Clark doing it in style, coming around turn to 14, doing a great job. You got to be careful because the track penalties are on, and they do know it. Una Clark electing to stay out, coming to lap 6, being followed closely by Dan and Demobi. And let's go on board with Demobi here. We're going to go to the bumper with Demobi and see what he can do here. I like this camera angle. I do it often. I don't know if anybody else did, but Demobi with a great run. Now let's go back here to Thorsten Schmidt. Or no, it wasn't Thorsten Schmidt. That was Dan Butt Mortuous. You can watch him walking by here. Oh, I messed it up. That was going to be an awesome pass on the bumper. But now Dan Butt Mortuous in that Janetta GT4. Now back to 3rd place. Demobi, next victim in line is Una Clark. Porsche versus Porsche coming up here, ladies and gentlemen. Going back to the track to see what's happening here. Nikki now in a battle with Thorsten Schmidt. Looks like Thorsten Schmidt now taking that position away from NRP as well. Nord Viking now, you can see him coming way in the background, wherever the camera went. Here he comes, ladies and gentlemen. And you see Evan and Tro coming in the background, followed by Old Smokey as well. Demobi now on the move, coming up through the field. Let's take a look at some of these timings as they're coming out across the live here. Una Clark last time by, or his best lap is a 153.7. Demobi's best lap is a 153.1. ladies and gentlemen. Uniclark, our leader, we see now has a 1 second penalty. He's got to be in there pounding his head off the steering wheel, figuring out, man, this track is tough to navigate. Plus, I have the sprint race winner behind me here as you're watching it behind the timing screen. Demobi now all over the back of Uniclark. They separated only by half a second, so that second is now diminished from Uniclark as he comes down the hill. Demobi, our sprint race winner, doing it in absolutely great fashion right now, as you can see him trying to take over that position for the lead here. Coming up to lap 7, ladies and gentlemen. 6 are in the books. Coming up to lap 7 out of 23 with a mandatory pit stop, racing throughout the day. Going to end this race in the evening hours. So track temperatures are going to change and fluctuate a little bit. We're looking at the track temperature right now. It just went from 101 to 102 degrees Fahrenheit as I was looking at it. The outside degrees is 73 degrees Fahrenheit. It's the 4th of April, ladies and gentlemen, on this racetrack today. So temperatures are still a little bit cool in the air, but the track temperature, because the sun is out, it's going to be sunny and then some light clouds, back to sunshine, and then some medium cloud cover. So it's going to be a bunch of different variations throughout the race today with the time change and the weather change. So these guys are going to be busy behind the wheel, and right now you can see Demobi all over the back of Uniclark, our race leader right now. Currently, Uniclark has a 1 second penalty, but Demobi is all over the back of him, going back to this bumper cam. Coming up the hill here, ladies and gentlemen, coming up to turn 8, this dreaded left-hander. And you got to give me a vote. You got to give me your opinion on this. Does this left-hand corner where Demobi's going around right now, does this left-hand corner, does it look faster than it is to you? Does everybody always overshoot that? I'm always over in that gravel. Or not the gravel, but over that chute out there, and I always get a penalty there. But Demobi coming up over the hill here through Aqua Mineral up towards turn 11 and 12 here towards this chicane here, coming up to about the 100-meter mark. See him braking late past the 100-meter mark. Pretty brave, but he does it very good. You can see all the time he's now made up on Uniclark right now. Let's get rid of this map and just get rid of the interface here, and we'll do a lap with these two guys driving. Going to take a look at some of the action on the track. Let's go back here and see what's going on with Dan Mortuous too. We're still on the bumper cam, but we're going to go back here. Let's go on board here. Let's go with this onboard camera. Dan Mortuous, ooh, you got to see him get off of the brakes a little bit. You hear him on the rev limiter, hoping he did not over rev that engine. Now you can see Thorsten Schmidt bitten off to the pits there. I think that was Thorsten Schmidt who hit that rev limiter. Must have missed a gear there. Not sure what happens. I think them Porsches are sequential shift, but it sounded like he missed a gear right now. Going back to the track, ladies, going back trackside to see what Dan Mortuous is up to. Being followed closely, these two Ginettas, pretty similar times. Let's go to the timings here and see what's happening between Dan Mortuous. You can see Dan Mortuous at 154.4 and NRP at a 154.5. So that's pretty impressive lap times by these Ginettas. These guys are racing pretty hard right now. We know NRP loves those Ginettas. Works over at Silverstone. Gets to see him pretty regularly, I'd imagine. I got to say, I'm a little jealous. I'd like to drive one day. Maybe even buy one. I don't know what I'd do with it, but it'd be cool to have one, just to have a Ginetta. I like them. I fell in love with them after I got this game. I've never seen one or driven one in real life, but they're awesome to drive in this game. Demobi now still in second place, trying to take over this lead here, as you have Uniclark doing a fantastic job. Still with a 1 second penalty, though. We're seeing this 1 second penalty. NRP up to third. Dan back to fourth. That battle now between these two Ginettas. We're going to keep an eye on this battle in the lead right now, and in about a couple seconds here, we should see Nicky coming up over the hill. There they are, coming into the frame right now. Nicky and Dan still battling with those Ginettas. So those are the top two battles, ladies and gentlemen. These guys come through the chicane. Let's go back to the lead and see what these two are up to. It looks like Uniclark's having a heck of a time trying to fend off Demobi. You can see Demobi doing an absolutely great job with managing his brakes and not getting too close, not just letting him know he's back there, but not being too aggressive too early in the race, ladies and gentlemen. Lap 8 out of 23. So there's still a lot of time left here, and keeping an eye on these two as they come around for lap 9. NRP now all by himself. Looks like Dan must have spun off back there. Not sure what happened. That was going to be a good battle shaping up there. But we'll see if Dan can recover from that and see what's going on now. Demobi side by side as they come through Turns 2, 3, and 4. Demobi has to go way wide, knowing Uniclark was on the outside. What a great heads-up veteran move to not take both of these guys out. Although the damage is not on, it's still a pain in the butt whenever you get spun out and everybody gets caught back up. You spend all that time trying to separate yourself and have somebody come up beside you and get too anxious and not be a smart racer and take everybody out. That was a great heads-up move by Demobi as he gets side by side with Uniclark here. Uniclark, or NanoRP coming into the picture. You can see Dan coming into the picture as well. And that other Ginetta. Let's go back here and see what Nordic-Viking, Tro, and Evan are up to. Boy, there's a battle going on right here, ladies and gentlemen. This is pretty epic right now. You can see Johnny. That wasn't Johnny. Who was that? It was, let's see here. Old Smokey in the Ginetta. You got Evan in that Ford. You have Nordic-Viking in that purple Ginetta, and you have Tro now in that, still rocking the Aston. A lot of guys made changes to the Ginetta. I don't blame them. They're easier to handle, but not as fast as the Porsches. You got to be from a different planet for those Porsches, I suppose. Nordic-Viking now trying to fend off a hard-charging Tro as they come up around turn 8. And this is that turn here that I'm always talking about. It always looks like I said, it looks like it's always faster than it is. J Palm coming in says, good to have the Mustang back. Yeah, I like that sound, man. I really do. I really do. I think it just sounds really, really, really good. If I can just tune in on him here, they should be able to get just the sound out of that Mustang. But he's doing a great job right now holding off Tro and Nordic-Viking behind him as he comes through that second chicane there. Out on the paint, you can see the lights on. There's neon green lights in the grill. Pretty awesome. How that looks there. So these guys are doing a great job. Let's see what our leaders are up to as they come across the line for lap 10, ladies and gentlemen, down where we left them, where Demobi was side by side, had to get off the brakes last time and go through the sand to avoid contact with Uniclark. Looks like Uniclark gets a little bit wide now, but looks like now he returns the favor to Demobi, and Demobi now looks like he's showing on the leaderboard as the leader, but they're going to come through the chicane, and that's going to change probably 3 or 4 different times before this lap's over, ladies and gentlemen. These guys are good, clean, tight racers. Uniclark, it's great to have him on board tonight. I believe he is our driver from Swansea. I'm going to take a look at these two guys here. Then we have quite a few guys from Swansea here as we're watching these two guys race. I like to try to take some time out. When you get a good battle like this, kind of try to focus on these two guys. Here it says Uniclark. Yeah, 39 years old. He's from Swindon. That's where he's from. Swindon, the UK. His favorite classes are the GT3 and the GTE. Said his best tracks are the Spa and the Red Bull Ring. So a little out of his element tonight with the GT4 at Imola for our 25th running of Thursday Night Lights, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, 25 times we've done this. 25 weeks. It's been 6 months. It's been nerve-wracking. It's been a love-hate relationship. But at the end of the day, it's really a good thing, man. It really is. It really is. These guys are having an absolute blast, you know, and at the end of the day, you know, if you can come on here and be competitive like these guys are being right now, that's, you know, you get your money's worth, and that's what it is. And there's no money involved. It's all free. So that's even better. So if you want to get involved, ladies and gentlemen, www.rubbingsracing.co.uk. If you like what you're seeing on the stream, give us a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Tell us what we're doing right. Tell us what you'd like to see added. Tell us who your favorite drivers are and what series you would like to see in the future. If you're interested in what Rubbings Racing is all about, so far we have 5 different series going on right now. Not series, 5 different, 5 different nights of racing, I guess I should say. Thursday Night Lights is what you're watching right now in this great battle between Uniclark and Demobi. I tell you what, I'm just going to get rid of this interface because this is just great, great, great racing here, ladies and gentlemen. Thursday Night Lights is what you're watching right now. It's a random car, random track. And we do some goofy stuff sometimes, you know, do some pretty intense stuff, some open wheel stuff, some slow stuff, some vintage stuff, some futuristic stuff, and tracks that you just normally wouldn't pair them up with. This is a little different. This is a pretty special episode for us, our 25th edition. But Friday nights we do the Ginetta GT5 Challenge. We're in the United States of America this series. It's a 6-week challenge, or it's a 6-week series. All of our series, our championship series, are 6 weeks long, ladies and gentlemen. Our Ginetta GT5 North American Cup series right now has taken place all over tracks of North America. last week we were at Watkins Glen Short. Check our YouTube at Rubbings Racing. Check out the action from there. It was absolutely epic. This week we're going to be at Indianapolis Motor Speedway Road Course, IRC. So it's going to be an absolutely great time. Saturday night we do the LMP2s. We don't have that one broadcasted yet. We're looking for announcers. If you are an announcer, you think you got what it takes, and you think, which doesn't take much, because if I can do it, anybody can do it. You can sign up, come on board as an announcer or as somebody who would want to organize this. Always great, and great to always find volunteers. I've met people from all over the world doing this. Saturday night we have our LMP2, as we see now Demobi going side by side, trying to take the position away from Uniclark. Side by side, Porsche versus Porsche. Here they come down to the first turn, ladies and gentlemen. That's turn 1, and down towards turn 2, 3, and 4. Still side by side. Looks like Demobi able to muscle his way back through Uniclark, and Uniclark now fighting back, as you can see if Uniclark can do anything. Gets a good run out of turn 4, headed up towards turn 5 here, ladies and gentlemen. This first chicane area, it's not really a chicane, but it kind of is. But Demobi is making it look very easy coming through here. Uniclark still all over the back of him. Let's go back and see what's happening through the pits. Evans into the pits as well, and looks like NRP now taking that 4th place position. 36 seconds back. Demobi and Uniclark, these two titans, still up front in the Porsches, battling it out. I was going through the roster here. LMP2s on Saturday night, like I said. This is all happening at 8 p.m. GMT time, too, ladies and gentlemen. 8 p.m. is when we start our streams. It's normally a 15-minute qualify, a 20-minute sprint race, and then a ×2 feature race of the sprint race. Only it's laps because of the mandatory pit stop. Sunday mornings, I don't know if we do the Formula Renaults anymore or not. That was a thing we did last year. I'm not sure if that's still happening, but that was an experimental league. Had pretty good turnout, but we had some things go on here, so might have to put that on hold. Sunday nights, GT3s, got the live action. Live action is going to be absolutely epic this week, as actually we are at Imola this week with the GT3s. It's going to be an absolutely epic race, man. Some of these guys are really fast in the GT3s. Mondays, and we don't really do anything Mondays, as we see Demobi now diving off into the pits. We're going to keep an eye on him as he goes to the pits, as there's really not a whole lot of action going on track. Johnny and, yes we do, we got Johnny and Sideways GT4 going on it right now. This is for 7th place, ladies and gentlemen. Sideways in that Janetta has it. Johnny in that Aston Martin looks like he's going to try to take it away from him. Tuesday nights we have the Touring Car Division, which is our Touring Car 2. Our TC2 is our Clio Cups, and it's normally the mini track. And oh no, we looks like Sideways goes around. Unfortunate for him as he comes through that chicane. Oh, that's unfortunate. Having a great battle with Johnny there, and Johnny able to maintain now that 7th position. You see Demobi still into the pits. Where's Demobi at? Coming out of the pits. Uniclark now in sole possession of 1st place, all by himself, coming up over the hill. Looks like he's coming up on a lap marker there. Not sure who that is. Is that going through Hurlo now out of the pits as well? I'm not sure who was in that Janetta. Let's see where Nikki's at. Sorry, I'm hopping all over the stream, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just trying to figure out where everybody's at after these pit stalls. Anyway, back to Tuesday nights. Touring Car 2 is our Clio Cups. They're super fun, super competitive, man. That's not streamed yet either. We would love to get that on stream. And then our Touring Car Division 1, that's where all the big boys go to hang out, and there are some fast guys in there. A lot of them guys came out of the Clio Cup division, so there's a lot of training things within Rubbings Racing. Keeping an eye on NRP as he's in 4th place coming up over the hill here towards turn 8, ladies and gentlemen. And then back to Thursdays, Thursday Night Light. So that's our full roster here at Rubbings Racing, ladies and gentlemen, as we stand in the midst of the coronavirus epidemic here on the planet Earth. If you are battling the coronavirus epidemic, you want to tune in and watch this, we thank you and want you to stay safe. Everybody's in our thoughts and prayers. If you got family who are involved in it, our thoughts and prayers are with you here at Rubbings Racing. Keeping an eye on NRP right now. Now, coming up on the back of Tro just coming through that final chicane right now. In 3rd place, pretty good here. Demobi. Where's Demobi at on track? We have Uniclark in the pit. They just put the jack up. Looks like Demobi's just coming out of turn 14. And coming around turn 15 to start winding up through the gears, Uniclark is down. The tires are rolling. Where is he at? Demoby is going to be coming flying here in 1 second. This is a long, agonizing pit road. Where's Demoby? Demoby coming up to the start-finish line. Uniclark just at the end of pit road. Looks like Demoby's going to go ahead and blow his doors off as Uniclark comes out of the pit. But now he's got to be worried about Tro. Tro in third place now in that Aston Martin. You can hear that exhaust just screaming from that Aston Martin as he now tries to take on Uniclark coming out of the pit. Looked like Uniclark had a pretty decent pit. Not sure if he took pit or tires or not. Lap 14 out of 23, ladies and gentlemen. Well over halfway through here. I missed the halfway point once again. I'm going to start heading into the evening hours here. Probably late or probably about middle afternoon right now. As a matter of fact, I can tell you what time it is. Because I did all the testing in this Porsche. And if, like I said earlier, if you look down at the right-hand side gauge, you can see it's 15:14, 15:15 right now, ladies and gentlemen. 15:15, so it's 3:15 in the afternoon with about 11 laps remaining. Going to the trackside, Demoby out front all by himself now, and Uniclark to second. Tro now putting this Porsche under pressure. CNRP coming down the hill all by himself. Dan should be coming down the hill here in a second. Not sure where he's at. Currently holding that top 5 position. Johnny doing a good job moving out of the, staying in the Aston Martin, I'm sorry, coming down the hill. Got sideways GT4. Oh, that's a lap car back behind him, so going to see what Tro and Uniclark are up to right now. Is this Aston Martin versus Porsche as they come down the hill towards turn 14, ladies and gentlemen, around turn 13 here, and then down to 14. Side by side, Tro on the outside, Uniclark to the inside. Uniclark was just battling Demoby for the lead. Demoby now 5 seconds out in front of everybody. And let's go to the timings here and see what's going on with the timings. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Taking a look at the timings. You can see for yourself what they're doing. See who has the penalties. Uniclark now up to a 2-second penalty. Johnny having a 3-second penalty. Demoby looks like he's doing a pretty good job out front all by himself. Anybody wants to know information, you know, we see Demoby out front by himself. We did give him the ride along last time. I'm going to just go trackside with him this time here. And I just want to give him a little bit of credit out in the front where he's at. Because this is our 25th episode here. Demoby was our sprint race winner and currently is our feature race winner, ladies and gentlemen. There's about 10 laps remaining in this session. Or about 8 laps remaining, I'm sorry, 8 laps remaining in this session. Demoby's 36 years old from Holzkirchen, Bavaria, Germany. He's an IT specialist and a handball player. Been playing Project Cars 2 since the release date. He said his weapon of choice was the Thrustmaster, but I did read in the driver info on our Discord that he is now on a direct drive wheel, which makes sense, ladies and gentlemen. He was already good on a T500, and now he has moved on to big and better things. He has a podium direct drive wheel, so putting it to good use tonight as you see Demoby coming down that stretch there to the chicane all by himself. Uniclark coming in behind him. We did his bio. Nicky, we see him in third place in that Ginetta, rocking the Ginetta. Had faith in that Ginetta, and then the lobby had a chance to switch it out, but still has faith in that Ginetta. Doing a great job with that GT4 Ginetta. Works at Silverstone, and we all know and we all love, and always has a fan base on here as well, chiming in from time to time. I don't know, I really didn't go through the stream yet. Haven't seen anybody on right now, but taking a look down through the field here. Seeing what NRP's up to. Dan currently now under pressure by Tro. Not sure what happened to Tro. Tro was now Tro's splitting off into the pits. Yeah, Tro headed into the pits right now, surrendering that 5th place position. Lap 16, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, now it's 8 laps remain. 8 laps remain here as we see Tro into the pits. Evan and Amberq still rocking at it here. That Monster Energy 153 Ford Mustang. You can just hear them pipes crackling like only the Ford Mustangs can do. And that Aston Martin. Both of those guys The fans got to be holding their ears as those cars come screaming by. You can hear that Aston go by, and then you can hear that Ford Mustang go by. Both of those cars sound absolutely epic. Tro losing a couple spots in the pits. Tro's still headed out of the pits and looks like he's going to be all by himself. Old Smokey now coming down to the exit of pit lane. So he may be in a race now with Tro. Where's Tro at? Tro getting going with that Aston Martin. You're going to see Old Smokey coming around the corner right there, coming into the frame. So it looks like Tro has a good job, good little bit of a good head start, a little bit of breathing room here. Evan's still working on Amber Curie here as these guys had to come through the chicane up to turn 7 to Tosa, I don't know what they call it. Turn 7, making a left here, this hard left, and you got to be careful, get back on that throttle like we talked about earlier. On the Thursday night lights here, ladies and gentlemen. Getting into the evening hours, we're going to check the time. This is one cool little thing, dude. You know, I did some preparation for this. I really did. I swear. It may not look like it at times, but I do prepare for this stuff. But this one I really did prepare for because it's going to be absolutely great. It's going to be a great finish here. You can see, looking at the time, ladies and gentlemen, we are now down to 20 after 5 in the afternoon. The sun is starting to go down. I'm going to go on board with Dan Butt-Mortuis in that Ginetta GT5 right now. Get rid of this interface and check this out. Dan Butt-Mortuis chasing Johnny in that Aston Martin. Johnny switching from the BMW, which sounds really, I think that was him in the BMW. I could be wrong. I don't know. My head's swimming around. You see that Ginetta GT4 coming down here and hard on the brakes in through this first chicane area, turns 2, 3, and 4. Variante Tamburello. It's an Italian word. I like their food. The language is beautiful, but I can't speak it. Watching Dan Butt-Mortuis on the back of that Aston Martin driven by Johnny. See him going way wide as the sun now starting to set behind the hill here, ladies and gentlemen. You can see it setting to the west now. They're probably going to be facing east, headed up the hill here with the sun behind them in their rearview mirror. Don't see a mirror on the Ginetta, which is kind of cool, but kind of not cool. I kind of like to know what's behind me, but it's kind of cool you don't have the sun on your face. Coming up to turn 8 here on the brakes, takes that inside, driving all the way to the outside, doing a great job keeping that thing on track as we're riding along with Dan Butt-Mortuis. Lap 17 out of 23, ladies and gentlemen. Laps are winding down. The evening hours are upon us. Shadows are starting to get a little bit longer. Jeff Sharp saying, Nicky doing a great job in that Ginetta. He sure is, man. He absolutely is. You know, he's still within striking distance of Uniclark. Demobi is checked out. He packed his bags and checked out. Don't know if he's still on the planet or not, but he's about 11 seconds now in front of Uniclark. And word has it that's pretty much a default setup he's on. He said he does a little bit of work to the tires, and I'm sure he's got a little tricks up his sleeve. Everybody had a grandma who made a certain food that they loved, and she's like, oh, I just throw it together. No, grandma, you're lying. Sorry, we love you, grandma, but you're lying. That apple pie is the best apple pie ever. It's not just apples. Tell us what it is, grandma. That's the Moby right now. Has a super secret under that hood. 11 seconds out in front of everybody as you see the sun coming through the trees there now, starting to blind these drivers. On board with the Moby, coming around lap 7, getting around, looks like that was NRP. No, who is driving? That's Thorsten Schmidt. There it is, Nord Viking. Riding along with Nord Viking now, back to 12th place as you see our leader Demobi go around him. Demobi now starting to put guys a lap down, doing an absolutely great job in that Porsche. You can hear the exhaust from the Porsche as they start down the hill and they start up around Aqua Mineral. Ladies and gentlemen, Demobi doing a great job here, riding along with Nord the Viking and doing a great job tonight on track. Always good to have him on Thursday Night Lights. I'm pretty sure he's wrapped up in other series. He may be in the GT5 series. I'm not sure if he is or not. I got so many races I'm calling here. They all run together. So if I mispronounce your name or if I miscall your series, I apologize. But you guys know what I mean. Headed into the evening hours here as we watch Demobi drive out of the distance here, away from Nord the Viking, ladies and gentlemen, Nord the Viking. You see the sun now setting behind the hill to the right-hand side. Shadows are just about gone. Headlights coming on as they come down to the start-finish line. Lap 18 out of, or lap 19, coming to lap 19 here, ladies and gentlemen. Out of 23. 5 laps remain. This is all coming down to what's going to happen here to see what these guys are up to. Let's go down through the field here and see what these guys are up to. Johnny currently running in 4th place in that van. Is going to go to the track here, ladies and gentlemen, so you guys can enjoy some of the scenery here, going down through some of these drivers. Let's see if Johnny is on here. Yeah, Johnny is, his name's Anthony, 33, from the UK, living in France right now. We heard France is locked down, so hopefully he's having a great time in his apartment, trying to stay safe and clean. He said he's been karting from the age of 8 and ran a few stints in the Formula Ford and the Formula 300s. He said, but he had to stop because it was too expensive. We said about Matty Cake earlier. I think he may have dropped out, but Matty Cake also has done some racing. Got some real actual seat time, and that's the common thing I hear. It's fun, it's exciting, but man, you have to have deep pockets. He said he joined the French Foreign Legion and has been in it for 12 years. Likes to sim race and relax and wind down. Loves the clean racing with the community. I hope that's the right driver here. I'm pretty sure it is. But good to have him on board here tonight. As we'd like to take a look at some of the timings. Going down through here. I don't even see Johnny on there. Yeah, Johnny 200696. That is him. That was his buyer, ladies and gentlemen. Currently with a 3-second penalty, though. Oh, that's unfortunate. Demobi still clean as can be out front right now. Best lap at a 152.8 right now. That is the top of the class. No, it is not. Thorsten Schmidt with a best lap at a 152.3. Blazing lap by Thorsten Schmidt, but currently running at 11th place. See the penalties there, ladies and gentlemen. Old Smokey has 6-second penalty. Evan IRL, 7-second penalty. Sideways GT3 with a 2nd penalty. What's the gap here between Dan Mortuous and Johnny? Looks like Dan may be able to take a position away from Johnny and get a top 4 spot if they continue on this way. 3 laps remain, ladies and gentlemen. 20 out of 23 done. Go down here and see what's going on with Dan and Johnny right now. And as soon as I said that, it looks like Dan must have got a little bit sideways. Now currently 4 seconds behind Johnny. Tro's in the back here in this Aston Martin. Seen him a little bit going back into the darkness, ladies and gentlemen, as the evening is setting, or the sun is setting into the evening. Track temperature 106 degrees Fahrenheit, where it's pretty much been all day. Ambient temperature is about 76 degrees Fahrenheit. A lot of these guys are on hard slicks still here, so as they race through the daytime, the tire temperatures should be starting to come down, and the track grip should be coming back here a little bit. Demobi said on softs here, so some of these guys are on soft. The diagram said hards, but I guess that must be wrong. It doesn't give away his secrets. So lap 20 out of 23, Demobi coming up over the hill there all by himself, coming into the chicane. We can see Uniclark just coming up through Aqua Mineral in 2nd place right now. NRP in behind him. You see him coming up over the hill here in about 2 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. You see the headlights of him coming up over the hill. NRP in 3rd place, rocking that Janetta, doing an absolutely great job. About another 6 or 7 seconds back to Johnny just coming up over the hill as the camera focuses in on him. Doing a great job tonight as well. Switching from that BMW to the Aston Martin. Dan Mortuous doing a great job in that Porsche as well. And that's the top 5, ladies and gentlemen. They're all separated by about 30 seconds. Then it's a long way back here to Sideways and Amber Curie. Let's see what these two are up to here. Amber Curie in 6th place in that purple Janetta. Looks like he's trying to fend off Sideways GT4 here. And let's see if Sideways GT4 can get that GT4 sideways as he tries to get around Amber Curie in that Aston Martin right now. And coming up through the back there, I don't know if that's Evan. Yeah, that looks like Evan and Thorsten coming up behind there. Thorsten, we've seen him setting a pretty fast lap. Last time by 153.5 to Demobi's 154.9. So right now, Thorsten Schmidt is on a mission. Going to try to get up through the field and get a position or 2 before the end of this race. He's got about 2 laps to do it. Looking at Thorsten Schmidt right now, he's about 3 seconds behind Evan. Don't know if he's going to be able to make up that time at all. Evan on the back of Sideways GT4 in that Mustang. That's Mustang versus Janetta. Sideways coming into the pits, ladies and gentlemen. A late pit stop. Maybe they have a chicken dinner and they're ready for him. Maybe he just wants to go in. Getting late in the day, 21 out of 23 as we go and see what time it is as the sun goes down. Back on board with our leader. You can see, ladies and gentlemen, almost 9 o'clock in the evening. These guys are getting tired. They're getting cranky. They got to get home and get their grill started and have their celebrating beverages. And looks like Demobi's going to be able to do it here. Lap 21, did you see him come down the hill? Lap 14, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, lap 14. Turn 14, doing it good, coming out and coming back on, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm just going to take a quick break here and grab a drink. We're going to be riding along once again. Coming down through Variante Villeneuve, 5 and 6. Demobi, our race leader, lap 22 out of 23, ladies and gentlemen, as we go into the evening hours. You can see on the digital clock on the right-hand side there, it is now 9:30 in the evening. The sun has officially gone down. Track temperature is coming down a little bit, 105 degrees Fahrenheit, but the headlights are definitely on here as we go through the field. Uniclark up to second place, coming around turn 7. We have NRP. It looks like he's coming around turn 7 as well. You're going to be able to see Uniclark drive up away from the pack there. And it looks like Uniclark's going to have some action up here, getting around the back marker. Looked like he was. Not sure what happened there. That was a little spooky as the lights go out here in Imola. 1 lap remains, ladies and gentlemen, as Demobi comes through the chicane for the next to the last time. Demobi taking the sprint race win here today and had a little bit of technical difficulties coming into this one. Got disqualified for some strange reason. I think these guys, they're thinking maybe we should have went on with that race as Demobi went crazy in this feature race here. Started at the back of the pack, and by mid-race he was up racing Uniclark for the lead. Uniclark did everything he possibly could to try to keep Demobi from winning this race, but Demobi just put it up in front like he always does. And we're going to watch Demobi as he takes his victory lap like we always do for our 25th edition of Thursday Night Lights, ladies and gentlemen, at Imola with the GT4 class. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Thank you guys for sticking with us. All your comment, all your love and support. If you like what you're seeing on the stream, give us a thumbs up. And give us a like and a subscription. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. Tell us what you would like to see improved. If you want to get involved online and have your name called out on stream, www.rubbingsracing.co.uk, and that'll get you some of your cleanest, fastest sim racing on the PlayStation 4 as Demobi enters and exits turn 7, coming up the hill to turn 8, and doing it in style in that GT4 Porsche. Doing it just like nobody. Our German driver and that number 33 Porsche Fresno, or Porsche, I think it said Fresno on there. Doing a great job coming down the hill, out around, coming up towards Aqua Mineral now. And huge congratulations. Great driving by him tonight. Great driving by everybody involved. You've seen Uniclark put up a great battle with Demobi. As now we see Old Smokey looks like he is now can maybe get back to the line before Uniclark, see him go out of the frame, or not Uniclark, Demobi. And Demobi coming down the hill for the final time, ladies and gentlemen, towards turn 14. Going to be easy on the brakes as he has no pressure at all. Coming around turn 14, out around turn 15. Huge congratulations, great driving, great heads-up battles between him and Uniclark as they came through that first chicane, turn 2, 3, and 4 earlier in the race, ladies and gentlemen. Coming across the line, ladies and gentlemen, is your feature race winner, Demobi, crossing the line, blinking his lights, waving to his fans, taking the sweep on Thursday Night Lights, ladies and gentlemen, at Imola. Huge congratulations to Demobi. Uniclark coming across the line in second, waving to his fans, has his flag out the window. Great run by him tonight. Did everything he could to try to keep Uniclark behind him. and couldn't do it. NRP doing a fantastic job in that Ginetta GT4. We've seen Nord Viking coming across the line, flashing the lights as well. Johnny coming in 4th place. Close battle there. This is all unofficial coming across the line, ladies and gentlemen. Dan now coming across the line, being followed by a lap car. I think that's Nord Viking coming across the line there. Both of these guys, I don't think that's for position. It is not, but they're still racing, ladies and gentlemen. So good to see these guys racing. Absolute great fun. Amber Cuey coming down to the final corner. Thank you for tuning in tonight and showing up on track, my friend. Always good to have you. South African, living in Ireland, I believe that's Amber Cuey. I'm not sure what's going on that part of the world, but stay safe, my friend. Good to have you on track tonight. Coming in 6th place, Thorsten Schmidt, not having a good night tonight. Back to 8th place. Couldn't get a handle on these GT4s, unlike Thorsten Schmidt tonight. May have had some time penalties, not sure what happened. You see coming across the line right now in 7th place, ladies and gentlemen. Good run for him. Thanks for having him on track as well. Evan looks like he's going to park it. Pretty cool watching them lights there. Old Smokey coming across the line. That's not Old Smokey. That's all these guys congratulating each other here. As you see Demoby now out front all by himself. With these guys coming down, congratulating each other, congratulating the leaders and the winners and everybody involved in the race, ladies and gentlemen. That is the race. Take a look at some of the timings here. You've seen Demoby did a great job taking the lead with 0 penalties. Uniclar coming in 2nd with a 2-second penalty, but it looks like he's going to get away with it as NRP comes across the line 3rd. 4-second penalty to Johnny. Across the line in 4th. Dave Mortuis to 5th place in that Ginetta. Amber Cuey coming across 6th. Schlorton Smith to 7th. Tro to 8th. Old Smokey to 9th. Evan running out the top 10th. Sideways GT4 to 11th place. Nord Viking to 12th place. Hurlo to the final spot. We had a couple guys drop out. Matty Cake was in here, and I can't remember who else was in here, but I want to thank everybody for showing up and giving us your time tonight. We know things are pretty crazy out there in the world. Watching all these guys come down the track here, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely great race. I want to thank everybody for all your time and all your efforts. Demoby, the race winner. Great racing by him in a default setup, pretty much. At least that's what he tells us. He may be back on the planet next week to do it again, ladies and gentlemen. In the meantime, you can check him out on the Hot Lap Challenge on our Discord. Uniclar coming in 2nd place with 2-second penalty, but still doing a great job. NRP rounding out the top 3. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our 25th episode of Thursday Night Lights. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you guys for all your support. I want to thank all the drivers who take part in this and all the staff members who have been beating their heads off their laptops trying to organize all this. It's a great accomplishment for Rubbings Racing, for the staff, and for the members, and most of all for the fans making this happen. For everybody here at Rubbings Racing, I am your host, Kenbo76. Thank you for tuning in. God bless and good night.